Beloved, when bad things happen to you, do you find yourself blaming God for them? Thinking that because He's so powerful, He could have used His power to prevent those bad situations from coming into your life, but He didn't. If you ever think that God is the cause of your problems, or God is the one who allows troubles to come to you, then beloved, I'm here to tell you that that is not true. The Bible lets us know in 3rd John chapter 2 verse 1 that God thinks good thoughts about you, that the only thing that God wants for you is for you to live in good health and to prosper in everything that you do. And this is why Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 11 also says to us that God says that He does not have any evil thoughts about you. All His thoughts about you are good, to give you a future of hope. God doesn't want you to go through any pain, any suffering, or any hardship. This is why He sent Jesus Christ on earth, because 1 John chapter 3 verse 8 says that Jesus came to destroy Satan's work. Jesus came to destroy all the works of Satan so that you would have life and have it more abundantly. So beloved, from today, whenever you go through any hardship, any problem, or any suffering, know that it is not God who has allowed that suffering to come your way. And the reason why you would know this is true is because in the book of Exodus chapter 20, God has laid down the commandments for us to follow. And He says that when we follow those commandments and obey them, everything will go on well with us. God did not give us the commandments to restrict us from having fun. The commandments are there for us so that we will not experience any bad thing in this life. So the commandments of God are to first obey God and to worship God and not to worship any other God. And God says that we should not lie. He says that we should not steal. God says that we should not commit adultery and we should not envy our neighbor's property. If you steal someone's property or you lie about them and that person curses you and you end up experiencing a bad thing because of their curse, beloved, is God to be blamed for the bad experience you go through? If you dishonor your parents by talking back to them and insulting them, contrary to the command of God, which says that you should honor your parents, and your parents, if they are not godly and they speak any curse on you, and you end up having a bad or a hard life, beloved, is God to be blamed? Or if you are unfaithful to your spouse and they find out and they say any negative word against you and it comes to pass in your life, beloved, why would you blame God for the bad things that comes into your life? God has already given you the commandments that you should obey, that when you obey them, no evil, no bad thing can happen to you. So why are you not obeying the commands of God, but instead blaming God for all the bad things that are happening to you? Beloved, God is never the cause of your problems. Neither is He happy when you go through these problems. So the best thing you should do whenever you are suffering or going through any hardship is to pray for God to forgive you so that you would have the life that God wants you to have, because you know that the thoughts of God about you are good and they are not evil. Some of the problems we go through in life are not because of sin we've committed. Not all problems comes as a result of sin, but some problems come because of negligence. Some problems comes because we do not know the right thing to do, but not necessarily because we sinned. And so, beloved, in all areas of our life, whether we are suffering because of sin or whether we are suffering because of any other reason, the thing we need to do is to pray that God will have mercy on us and release us from the bondage of sin and its consequences. Jesus says it in Matthew chapter 11 verse 28 that whoever is burdened and whoever is weary should call on Him and to bring Him his burden, and He will give that person rest. So whatever you are experiencing right now, whatever hurt you are experiencing, whatever pain you are having in your heart or suffering you are going through, Jesus wants you to bring that pain and hurt on Him. He wants you to put all your weariness on Him, and He will take it from you and give you rest. So if you are going through any problem because of sin you have committed, ask God to forgive you for that sin and ask Jesus to take away that heavy burden of problem away from you. And because Jesus says that if you cast that problem on him, he will give you rest. Beloved, believe it, that if you pray earnestly and if you ask God to forgive you for the sins you have committed, and if you ask him to take away those burdens and those problems from you, he will take them from you. So beloved, be encouraged that all the problems you are going through are not because God is angry with you. And also do not be angry with God that he is the one that allowed those problems to come to you. Find out if you have sinned against anyone and pray so that God will forgive you and give you rest.